everyone, welcome back to Studioloo, and we're here for day 2 of Dephemerember. If you're not aware of Dephemerember, I went through the little spiel yesterday. I'm not going to do it every single day because I know lots of folks are not a fan of over-explaining, so please check my description box. I will say this is hosted by Louisa Heinzel and 49 Dragonflies, so I've linked their channels down below. This is an ephemera making collaboration in December, so today's prompts from Barbara and Louisa are floating pocket and bold numbers. So I think I'm going to use this month to essentially try to incorporate scraps every single day in my project because we've got some scraps. Shh, don't tell anyone, but it's a thing. I've got a little bit of an overflow happening. So I have kind of done a bit of a flat lay here to look at my materials and determine sort of what I was going to do ahead of time. And I have a bit of an idea that came together in my head. So I had these pieces of scrapbook paper that I folded. And so imagine a longer piece, right? But then I cut them into the shape of a house. So I had these offcuts that also had sort of, I guess they were like this. If you imagine that this was one piece of paper and then the bit that's, gone was the shape of the roof and the rest was the body of the house, essentially the house structure. So that left me with all of these. Some of them have a little slit in them, some of them don't, and they're just a folded piece of scrapbook paper. So that's what I wanted to use as the base. And because this year Dephemerember focused around compartmental making or mass making, I was like, you know what, I have 12 of these, let's complete 12 projects, do 12 of everything. So what I'm going to start off by doing here is basically, these are floating pockets, which means that you're going to be able to take them in and out of a journal. So I'm just going to go through and bold numbers. So I've done some die cutting of these fun numbers from my my die cut machine, and I have these gold glittery numbers, but there's also numbers on this measuring tape. So I want to create boldness with numbers in a few different ways. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put all these little cutouts because we're going to do something pockety with them. Probably we won't need them all, but I'm just going to keep the whole selection there. I've got 12 little paper doll cutouts. Some are Tim Holtz and some are not. And I've got 12 authentic vintage photographs, and so they're all going to sit there. And then I have 12 project life cards that are mostly blank. They don't have a bunch of sentiments on them, so I think that'll be a perfect kind of thing to use. And again, it's that using it up spirit. But first, let's just kind of go through these. And I have the option of doing something on the back here, but I think what I'll do is create the first step of bold numbers by repairing that slit with my decoration of this tape. So we'll do that. And because it's floating, we're going to do it on both sides. Okay, and I'm going to need scissors for this. Okay. So this one has been repaired. And I'll probably just flip this on over here. There's no need to cut the big one off. We'll cut the edge here. Unless that looks cool. Maybe that'll just look cool. Let's just wait and see. Okay. So that's one. Does this one have a cut? Nope. 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 It's just got a little paper there. This one's got a little one. Let's repair it. So we'll put this in the done pile. Where was that here? So this is just going to be incorporated into the piece itself. Because I think, because these are floating pockets, we're really going to play with both sides to get lots of oomph out of our project here. This one has just a little gap there. Let's just do some fixing. visible mending. Okay. And I love this tape so much. It's from Scotch. It's just a fun decorating tape. Okay, these ones are fine. 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 Oh, wait. Nope, fine. Okay. So that's all that we need to do. I'll come back and probably, I will use this tape because we're going to do a mask make. So the first part of the mask make for me is going to be creating the pocket by stitching 3 sides here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that on the sewing machine and come right back. All right, here they are. They're all stitched around. So now I think we're going to try to figure out the layout that we want to use sort of for the whole series, right? So what I had been thinking with these little triangles, I wanted to sort of find one, like these papers all kind of go nicely together because they're from the same paper pack. So we've got this shape, which I think would be a really fun wraparound pocket. And we could do 1, we could do 2, and sort of see how I feel about it. I think I like the 2 on that one. So I'm gonna go with that. This one, these are a little bigger. So maybe we'll go with like 1 on the front and 1 on the back. This one, maybe we'll go with these. So I have the second one. I do. Okay, yeah. So I like this. I think. I like the little ones doubled up, I think. Let's just check how this looks here. So I do it correctly. Yep, like that. Then this one. I think, I like this one maybe. Yeah, those are good colors together. So we'll use those 2, front and back for that one. And then this one, maybe this, or is that a little too matchy-matchy? Maybe we'll go with these, the little crochet trim. There's the other one. Oh, that's a big one. Do we have another little one with a crochet trim? Maybe we don't. Do we have another single of a different small one? Those are the 2 big ones, which I could also go with. I'll use the 2 big ones on this one. So that gets that one done. Now let's just pause. We'll just leave that one for a minute. And we'll go on to the crochet pocket. Like that. I mean, some of them I could just do 1. I think 1 looks good. In that case it does. What about in this case? Maybe on this side. Yeah, that looks pretty cool actually. I like it. Right. Done. And then this one. Do I have the 2? Yeah, the 2 little grays. Just kind of frames nicely when you have the 2 of them. It's like, that was unexpected. We're just playing today. Okay, so that's that one. Then this one, maybe we'll use the 2 bigger ones. 1, 2. This one, maybe these ones. Yep, like those. And then this one. Yeah, those are nice. So these papers, they're so great. Like I feel like they just go so nicely together. Okay, what do we have? Little green, big gray, 1 little brown, 1 big, or 1 set of the 2 big browns. Maybe yeah, I like those together. So let's go with that. Okay, so these are going to be extras that we don't need. I'll put those back into the scrap bin for another project. So I think I'm just going to glue these. So let me show you kind of how I'm going to do each of the different ones. So for the big ones, we're going to go 1, 2. Okay. Actually, let's just mass make these together. So the other thing I want to do is I want to take one of these photographs, and I could have stitched this on before I folded the pocket, which I normally would do, but it's okay. I thought I would do something ever so slightly different this time. So I'm just going to hold it down and give it a slide under like so, because it's not going to lift. This part's just going to sit down here. And the thought that I had for the front of the floating pocket, I'm just going to put a person that's, you know, maybe they have a relation, you know, maybe they're related in some way. So we're going to put her on here. Maybe I'll bring you in a little closer so we can do this together. Okay. All right, so we'll stick her here. And then I'm just going to grab my this piece of laminate and just slide it under here and make sure that she's not stuck to that, and she's not. Okay, perfect. And then I have I've had this little bit just sticking around, and this is totally unrelated to the project, but any bit I can like use up, I think is a good thing. So I think I might use it on the other side though. So then come to the back. This one's going to go back here in the same way. Glue it down. You could also stitch it, you know. I'm just not wanting to like make you guys wait around for me to stitch a million times. So I'm going to put this bit on here. I'm going to try to find a bit for the back of each of these because they are floating. Map of the world. This is also a good way to use up little bits that you like stick on your desk if you're like me and you're just like building a colossal amount of things. Okay, good. Now, what I was thinking we would do to kind of make these even more fun is, so I have the Project Life card. So I think I would put the Project Life card in the front pocket like this, okay? And then on this side, I'm going to draw a random card from our index card a day bin. So it's like another way to use up my existing ephemera in like a now even more finished piece. So I'm going to just choose the first one for today. And it's this one because I just kind of like how the colors go. So if you were with me in October, this past October, you would have gotten to see me make all of these index card a day cards. So now we have this and this. It's a floating pocket. And this in here is your pocket, right? So we've got like a multi kind of floating pocket. A nice little piece like this. It's very nice to put something so large like this in the front of the, like a journal, you know, like in the very front pocket. But we have a few more steps to go here before we're done. And it's the numbers that we're missing, right? So I said I wanted to use a piece of this tape on each of these, and I do. So I think, let me see, would it be okay to go over top of her a little? I think it would be fine. Yep, that doesn't upset me. I think it'd be good. And then we'll come over here, but we can't go past the pocket. We could put that there. I don't see why not. It's just very fun. Okay. And then to make this kind of more interesting, we need some bold numbers. So I think I'm going to put a couple of these up here. And I think that just because of their size and their placement, that they're bold. Like, I think, you know, they really stand out. I know the color isn't particularly, you know, different than what you're seeing here, but it's just, it's another way of looking at something that, like, you know, boldness can happen in another way, right? And yeah, I like those. So I'm going to stick that in here. I'm going to kind of put it on a bit of an angle. And then we'll come over here, and I think that's where I want to put one of these. These out of here. Let's go with the number 1. It's the first today. Oh, and I gotta, you know what? I can't trust this sticker. This is, we don't trust stickers. Do I want to put that up here? Yeah, I think I do. That one there, and I might actually also, actually it's not the first, it's the second. I'm a silly, okay. My week is very busy. I'm just letting everyone know how busy it is. So let's go with that. That's fun. Bold numbers on both sides. Put that in here. And then I think that's good. So let's just go through and make these together. I thought I would, like, you know, do the thing I do where I'm like, okay, I'll be back. But I think let's just do this together. It'll be fun. Because each one's going to be a little bit different. So this one. And then the picture. And I just got to pay attention to some of these pictures. I'll need to put them down before the pocket or they'll get messed up. I'm going to put this here a little off kilter. Just this super cute little family in their garden. Love this a lot. And then over here, that needs to be trimmed a titch. I see a little tiny tear there. You see that? That's better. Did that side? Yeah, so this side. Okay. Get rid of that scrap. And I think the bit I'm going to use on this is this little label. On here. Okay. And come back to the front, and I think we will add, so this is a whole family. Maybe I'll add this guy. Or not him. Maybe this little guy reading. Yeah, he could be at, like, the dad, maybe. There's no glue that's going to get over there. Perfect. And I'll just use this again to make sure the pocket's not glued down. Okay, now we need numbers. And I think for this side, I'm going to go with a 6. And you know what? I spent the entire weekend with a bunch of kids. And for some reason, the kids are all saying endlessly right now. It's like a weird, crazy meme. They're just saying 6, 7 all the time. I don't know why. They don't know why. No one really does. I mean, there's a guy on YouTube who just did a whole video about it and the weirdness of human language. But I'm not going to lie, I'm super tired of hearing it, but let's just memorialize this moment. So let's stick this in here. Love that. And then we'll flip this over. And I think my bold numbers here are going to be fun. So we'll use this 40, 4 and 0. I don't know what it is about, like, numbers specifically in, like, making ephemera, but they just really are nice. Like, they give this industrial feel, you know, like, I think because paper people, I know, well, at least for me, we like to collect things that have, you know, like old invoices and stuff like that. It's just a thing. Okay, so now let's collect one of our cards. I'm just going to grab this one at random. And I got to glue that little corner down. I saw that. That's why I grabbed it, because I was like, I have a project to do here. So this, I think that goes nicely right in there. Yeah, fun. Okay. Now this one, start with our pocket. Actually, no, this one I think we need to start with our photo, because look, it's a wide photo. I actually need to, I think, trim these sides. Oh, and you know what I forgot to use? I think some of the tape on the other one. Yeah, we'll go back to it in a sec. Let's just see how this fits now. Yep, that's better. Get our photo down here. I should set this up like an assembly line. It would be easier. Okay. I'm just going to take these out for a second so that I can go back in with my tape. And it's going to go here. Just a smattering of more bold numbers. Yay! And then we'll put the card back in. Okay, that one's done. Beauty. Now, I think with this one, I'm going to do this. And this. Even though it's not actually holding it down, it's taped down. I like that. Okay, so we get rid of these scraps. Line up that pocket. And I think our little person, I'm going to use maybe this one. Like, maybe this guy was here entertaining them. He was one of several people who was entertaining these. Looks like a ladies' auxiliary, or actually, no, there's gentlemen there too, but let's just use him because it might be fun. And then we'll take a number 9. Oopsies. Okay. Flip next pocket. And then we'll find another random desktop bit. But first let's do the numbers. Grab this 0. To an 8 as well. That's just a weather notification. Sorry about that. All right, now what do we need to do next? A bit for over here, something. Let's see what's here. I'm gonna randomly grab something from my bin of bits. Not a bin of bits, but like a ephemera holder. What's this? A label. Okay. You could do that. I don't think that's a problem. But I might. It's kind of big. It's my only issue. It's big. It could go here to here. Yeah, let's do that. We'll wrap around. This is a painty paper label that I made ages ago. Yep, fun. Okay, so now we need the stuff. So this is Amazing Things Will Happen. Stick that in there. And then let's pick a random card. This one looks neat. Ooh, yes, that's a fun one. Okay. Like the color, very fun. 3 down. Okay, so this one is another of the big bigs, and I just need to trim the top white off of here because it's bothering me. Then I'll probably put this photo on first because it's a little wide. Right there. I'm going to take my number and pop it on here. I'm going to use a 2. Okay, and then we need this bit for a pocket. Okay, I think my family's doing karaoke upstairs. I can hear them. So if you can hear them, that's what you're hearing. Sorry about that. I just told them to turn it down a little. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this little guy here. Maybe he's letting everyone know the news of what these newlyweds, their wedding and whatnot. Who knows? Just a little, oops, I forgot to go up a little off the top there. Okay. Okay, fun. And then we'll flip. Pocket number 2. And I need another bit of something. Let me see what I've got here. What are these? Ooh, that's nice. Maybe I need to ink it though. Where is my book? Here it is. Okay. This here. That there. And we'll put the 5 and the 8 up here because it'll be more bold on this spot than on the pocket, I think. Possibly not, but I think it is. It's definitely like more interesting, more noticeable. Because I think the flower will draw you, but the numbers are there too. Whoops. Okay. Then I need the card. Amazing things will happen. Again, I'm just using these cards up. And then over here, we can pick a random card. Let's just kind of look at it from a color perspective and see what we find. This looks neat. He daydreamed a little. That's kind of nice. It's sort of relevant to this little guy, maybe. Make sure that fits, and it does. Another one done. Okay, now this is the first one that I've done with this double pocket situation. So you know what? I want to stitch this. It'll be much easier. I'll stitch all of these and come back and we'll work on them. Alrighty, so I've actually just sewn the rest of the whole stack. I think it'll be a lot faster, and then we can just focus on the fun of, like, you know, making it all come together. So this one will have this little photo of a house. So let's go ahead and put that on. Right here. And then we'll come in with some of our yellow tape. And I think I'll just wrap it here. And who do we want to be in this house? Maybe this guy. He kind of looks like he belongs here. But I'm actually, I don't know, do I want to put him up here? Do I want to put him in the pocket? Yeah, he's kind of cuter in the pocket. Okay. Kind of looks like he's the realtor for this house. He looks very serious. He's very much a business person. Okay. All right. And I think I'll go with a number 8 on here. Put it there. Okay. And we'll give him an amazing things will happen. And then over here we need a bit, right? Something to put there. Let's look over here. That's a little big. Okay, I'm looking in the wrong spots right now. Let me grab from my ephemera book. This might be cool. I'll put this over maybe here where I can easily get to it. Maybe a mushroom would be fun. Maybe there, right on the edge of that tape. All right, perfect. And then we need to pick from the box. Maybe, oof, that's nice, yeah. Okay. See how a fairy ring is made? Well, that's pretty perfect with the mushroom. Okay. For a gold number 2 we need, we'll go with a 5. Right there. Okay, that's that one. Then this one, you've got this wide house. Will that go in there even in the pocket? No, it will not. I don't like it sideways. So we need to trim. We'll start the edges and then we'll see if we have enough space. And then if not, I'll just go a little bit leaner. I guess it's got to be able to fit in here. Yeah, okay. Let's just go a little more drastic on the side. Yes, then that'll fit. Okay, perfect. Okay. Then I think, not that, that's an ampersand. 6, 2, Yeah, let's do that. Six. It's very quiet now in my house. I think the kids have moved on to watching a movie. Okay, there's that. And then we need a person. Maybe this little guy. He's like, oh, I don't want to be outside. Maybe him. He'd be cute. Maybe you got forced to go outside. I remember that feeling when I was a kid. Like, you'd be bugging your parents and they'd be like, all right, that's it. Go outside. I remember. Be like, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. But amazing things will happen, right? Then we'll flip it here, and we need maybe the number 9. Nine. And maybe it'll be 94. It's 94 degrees outside. He's hot. He wants to go indoors. He's got an old 1930s wool jacket on. He's like, what am I doing out here in this weather? All right. Let's find something. I wonder if this birdhouse would be nice. Or maybe it's a little too twee for this. I think it might be a little bit. Some of these 49 and Market things can get a little too twee. But the flower itself isn't. Just need to like ink up the edges because it's too white. Or these may be minty, I can't remember. Yeah, I think they might be. It doesn't matter. Because I am not sponsored. So I don't need to worry a whole lot about where this bit of paper came from. All right. This here. Let's give it a little press. That looks really nice though. That's cool. And then we got to pick from the random box. Here we go. What's this? Stitching this, catching my eye. Oh yeah. The cats. What is going on the back of this? Yeah. This is fun actually for this one, I think. Yep, it is. All right. Then we'll move on to this one. We've already got this tape. Did I use this tape on here? I didn't. You know what? I think I'm okay with that though. That's fine. There's no rule that says I have to use on all of them or anything. Let me pick the photo I want to use here. I want a smaller one. I think this would be good. This is just like a random window that someone took a picture out the window of these leaves. And I think I'll do it on this side because these numbers are upside down. I'll do it at the top of this. Okay. Right about here. And I think I'm going to put another piece of the tape on there. I just think there's not a whole lot going on in that photo, so I think it's fine to just make it more interesting. 3. I don't like the same number twice. 32. Let's do that. This one's on slightly thinner paper. I decided after getting started die cutting, I'm like, wait a minute, this is a little thin. It's going to cut into my dyeing plate, or my die cut plate, my cutting plate. So I had to glue this thinner paper onto some folder. Okay, so there's that, and we need our little person. I'm going to go with this girl. Maybe this is her garden, and she took the picture herself. Side of this, oh, this is the side that doesn't need glue as much as this one. Where is my, there it is. Just put this in here just to make sure we're good. Just had to change my battery, so we'll put our Project Life card in there, and then over here we need number 3, here, and a bit of some kind. Maybe one of these. This is cool. Yeah. This is from the Junk Journal Studios collection of cigarette cards, or tea cards, I don't recall, but they're beautiful. And I'm going to leave that white. I think that looks really nice, that white border. And now we'll pick from the box. I don't think the gnomes are necessarily right. Let's see. Maybe actually with the girl in the garden. Actually, yeah, I sort of forgot what the subject matter was on this one, and I think they are actually quite perfect. Little knitting gnomes. Okay. All right, so this is a good color for this one because it's these gents, and they are like, you know, kind of in their raincoats. I think we're going to need to trim the sides again. The other option here too is I could do this thing where I wrap, you know how I wrap these around? I could do that, and it's going to create like a crease like that, but that could look kind of cool. Yeah, let's give it a try. I think that'll be fun. Some glue down the crease. Okay. Good, 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 good. That's good. Then, clip, clip. All right. Just gonna make a little slit to open the pocket back up. Perfect. All right, so I think I'm going to use this guy. He sort of looks like he's involved in this expedition. Maybe it's one of them as a young man or something, or he's a captain on a ship or something. Let's see what kind of story we can tell with him. He looks like an adventurer. And then, oops, I just need to ink a little bit on him because there's a bit of white space that was bugging me there. Okay, but that's good. And I think this will be the last of the amazing things will happen, but I think we first need numbers. Let's give that a press. 6 and maybe a 3. here. It's kind of hidden. Here. Yep. And I'm gluing it right on top of the threads. I want to keep all these threads intact. I think they're fun. And then I'm just going to trim this bit of excess paper here. Okay. So that's that. Then this goes in here. And then over here we need a bit of tape. I think we'll use it on maybe the edge of this picture, just kind of like a, yep. And we need some kind of a bit too shiny for that. Let's go with this unidentified label. Here up top. Okay. And then we can pick one of these. Let's see this one. Lucky sometimes, that's cool. Do that one. Done. Next, this one I think is another wide one. Do we want to do the wrap again? Another thing that could be kind of cool is like if we pink the edge. Pop that in my scraps. And it's kind of like a fun, like a border. Yeah. Good. Okay. So now I'm going to use the gold numbers on the front. I haven't been doing that. 2. This cute little guy. I don't know, you know, he might not be right. He's sitting down. I think I'm going to get a different person just 'cause it's hard to work with like sitting down people sometimes. Unless like you're putting something there where people are sitting down. Maybe this little guy, I don't know. He seems a little not right as well for this. Now I'm just getting picky. Let's see what we have. Not him, not him. Just gotta grab a few people out of here and see who we like. Maybe the parents. These are all kids in this picture, so maybe we'll put their parents on here. That's another sitting down. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Their parents look like farmers. Yep. Okay. And I think I'm going to grab a little bit more tape and put it up here. Wrap it around just a titch. Fun, fun. Okay, then we need this one. So this is just like a green floral, perfect for this. And then we need a little bit of something. Maybe a mushroom would be nice. Not quite. This one, I think we could use possibly this little picnic basket. Yeah, right there. That's fun. Like so. And then we need numbers. Let's put a 3 here. Okay, then we can pick from the basket again, or the basket, the box. Whew. Oh, he was impatient. That's cute. He was waiting for them to get out of the garden so he could steal a lettuce. That's what it is. Okay. 3 to go, I think. 1, 2, 3, yep. All right, now we got this little guy on his trike. And I might do that pinking again. It's kind of fun to just have that pinked edge. Okay. And number 2. On here. I mean, it's not as bold as it could be, but it's okay. I think it's fun either way. And then it's maybe too many kids. I think I need a the girl with a dog. That's cool. I kind of like her there. Can we lift that up? Maybe I'll just cover it, actually. It's okay. It's just a number. I want to put her there. I'm going to put some glue on her foot. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. I feel like they just are kind of serendipitous. They're just good. All right, then we need some tape. Yeah, I think I'll do this. And then we need a bit. This Ex Libris label, that could be fun there because, like I said, these are really nice in the front of books. And then it's kind of a little present of some extra bits and bobs, right? Gold. Number 6 and maybe a 3. Little pocket. Okay. Then we need a card. I'm going to go with this one, I think. I like the colors together. Yep. All right. Put this back. And then we have this one. And we have this guy. He's casting a fun shadow. Okay. And I like this little paperboy kind of guy here. I think he'd be fun. numbers. Number 40. Okay. Now this side, something interesting here. Maybe this envelope? Yeah. Maybe we'll go with 11. All right, so we'll put the card in here, flip and pick from the box. Maybe this one? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe something maybe a little more. Yeah. Maybe this one. Maybe he's sending a letter to his lady friend and his dog. Okay, one more to go, and we have this gentleman here, and I think he'll fit fine on there. So let's just glue him on. Whee! Just gotta kind of flip these just to get that inside there. There we go. That's fun. And then maybe these are his kids. Okay. Oops. Let's put a 5 on there. And then over here, so what are we going to use? This label would be interesting. Just like that. Nine. Oops. And a 4. Okay. So in the front, oops, I got an extra one of these. Put this in here. And then over here, and our last choice from the box. Not that one. Maybe this one. Maybe this is their evil stepmother. Let's see if that'll fit in this double pocket. I don't know. I guess it could go this way. Actually be nicer with the tab up. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. The tab up. Yeah, and she goes. It's good colors, actually. All right, so that's that. Let me clean up a little and I'll show them all to you. Well, we created quite a stack of things today, right? All of these pockets. So, loading pockets with bold numbers. Yes, I will not go through and take everything out and show you everyone because you were here for the whole journey with me. But I'm a fan. I think these are fun, easy, and like they will use up your stuff, your scrappy bits that you've been hanging on to, and even things that are pre-mades, you know, are nice little gifts in the front of a journal. So yeah, they are really a lot of fun. I'm very happy with them. So thank you for joining me today. Once again, don't forget to check out 49 Dragonflies and Junk Journal Art with Louisa Heinzel. I have linked them both below. They are the hosts of this challenge, and there's loads of other people who take part in #Dephemerember. So I will see you tomorrow, maybe? No, I won't. I will see you on the 4th for our next Dephemerember project together. Bye for now.